On the way to work, I used to wish that I could get into a car accident before work just to avoid the misery. But after sticking with it for 10 years and understanding how the corporate game really works, I've been able to work at top companies like Deloitte and McKinsey, earn a six-figure salary, and teach hundreds of people just stepping into the corporate world how to thrive in their careers and gain respect from influential leaders. And now I want to work with you so you can understand how to get ahead in whatever corporate environment you're in, get promoted faster, and gain sponsorship from senior executives. So you worked your ass off, graduated university or graduate school with top grades. You landed your dream job, and now you find yourself in the corporate world. So what do you do when everyone around you is just as smart and just as driven as you? How do you get ahead? If you're early in your corporate career, or you've been working for a number of years, and especially if you're a first-generation Black corporate professional, and you've constantly been passed over for high-profile opportunities, you're receiving mediocre performance reviews, you're seeing less qualified peers get ahead, and you're thinking to yourself, I'm just as smart and hardworking as them. Why am I being overlooked? What the heck am I doing wrong? Then you probably know that unlike university, graduate school, or even the process of getting a job, when it comes to successfully navigating the corporate world, intelligence isn't enough. My name is Carice Anderson, and I'm the author of the best-selling book, Intelligence Isn't Enough, which has been published in South Africa, the UK, and the USA, just to name a few. I've been featured on Oprah Winfrey's The Life You Want class, CNBC Africa, and the Black Enterprise Women of Power Summit. As a former consultant at Deloitte, a former professional development manager at McKinsey, and in my current role now as a human resources director with global responsibilities at BlackRock, I've seen firsthand what it takes to stand out and get ahead in highly competitive environments. And right now, in almost every company in corporate America, Africa, and Europe, be it a tech company in Silicon Valley, an investment bank in New York, a law firm in London, a management consulting firm in Johannesburg, or the organization you're working at, or the one you want to work at. There's a corporate game going on behind the scenes that you don't even know about. One that university or graduate school professors didn't tell you about, where getting ahead had nothing to do with intelligence or where you come from, and has everything to do with understanding these new rules of work and how some people get ahead and why some fall behind. And for you, if you used to be a top student before you started working, or you've hit a performance plateau after working for a few years, understanding this, knowing how to play the game, and using it to your advantage is the difference between you constantly being passed over for opportunities and sponsorship and seeing less qualified peers get ahead versus you climbing the corporate ladder more quickly, securing a senior leadership role and increasing your earning potential. Going from feeling stuck, overlooked, and undervalued to being seen as an authentic, high potential, rising star and gaining the respect and sponsorship of your organization's most influential leaders. Going from having your ideas dismissed to becoming known as a go-to person for distinctive performance, fresh insights, and perspectives. Going from feeling frustrated and powerless about work to making a huge impact, accelerating your career growth, securing prestigious roles, and raising your pay. And this is without needing to work longer hours, be smarter, or kiss up to the boss and be inauthentic. And you can probably see this in your own workspace. Why do you think you see people who are not smarter or harder working than you getting ahead? In most cases, it's because they play the game and get rewarded. They know how to build strong relationships, showcase their value, and navigate company culture and politics. And I know this because if you're stuck feeling overlooked, undervalued, and like you don't truly belong, I get it because I felt exactly the same way. A few months after I started my first job out of university, I was miserable at work, constantly feeling stuck, overlooked, and undervalued. I distinctly remember wanting to get into a car accident so that I wouldn't have to go to work. I didn't want to die. I just wanted to break my right arm so that I couldn't write or type. I felt helpless and probably a bit hopeless too. I was the first person in my family to work in a corporate, and I didn't have the tools to diagnose my situation, let alone fix it. All I knew was that I was miserable. I felt stuck, unmotivated, and like I was wasting my potential. I had to learn how to play the game. Fast forward a few years later, I was sitting in annual performance reviews at McKinsey when I realized there was a huge gap between what leaders expected and how they defined success versus what early to mid-career Black professionals thought was expected of them and what success looked like. The more that I talked to early and mid-career professionals and leaders from different industries, I figured out this disconnect was going on in every high-performing organization behind the scenes. I discovered that success requires collaboration and inclusion, not just individual smarts and hard work. I figured out that understanding and managing your mindset about people and situations was critical. I realized that taking ownership of your work, product, brand, and relationships is key. Stuff that I was never taught at school, things that I had to figure out the hard way. And eventually, I went from feeling stuck and invisible to earning top performance ratings, getting more senior roles, and gaining the respect and sponsorship of senior leaders. Flash forward a few years, I was able to work and excel at companies like McKinsey, Korn Ferry, and BlackRock, earning six-figure salaries, managing teams and helping drive impact for internal and external clients across the USA, Africa, and Europe. Then I went on to become a best-selling author in South Africa. I got a second book deal with a US-based publisher, signed with a top speaking bureau, and now I command $15,000 speaking fees. My credibility skyrocketed to now where I'm able to work on my own terms, make a positive impact on thousands of professionals, and get paid well to do it. All because I mastered this corporate game. And through my mentorship of professionals, my Instagram, LinkedIn, and my speaking engagements, I hear stories every day of hardworking, talented people feeling stuck in a job with no direction, feeling lost, and constantly being passed over for opportunities they deserve. So I've made it my mission to make sure that no one has to struggle like I did early in my career. I want to show everyone how to understand the corporate world, decode the unwritten rules, and have impact. I want to see you thrive at work and in your careers when intelligence isn't enough. So over the last 4 years, through my book, personal coaching, speaking engagements, and mentoring, I've helped hundreds of people just like you do just that. People like Machima, who within 6 months of joining my book club, got promoted, successfully negotiated a salary increase, and was nominated for a leadership program she always wanted to get into. People like Golden, who went from being on a performance improvement plan to turning his rating around in 90 days and staying with the company. Another club member shared with me how the sessions equipped her with the courage to pursue her career goals actively. She received the best performance ratings of her career. She then became a key talent in her department and received exceptional feedback from leaders. And they were able to achieve their career goals and gain recognition without needing to sacrifice their authenticity, lose themselves in office politics, or leave their company for better opportunities. The key is my 3-step system for being able to thrive in your career, get promoted, and earn the respect and sponsorship you deserve. First, you need to understand yourself. What are your values and beliefs? What matters to you? What are your strengths and areas of development? What motivates you to go above and beyond? What are your aspirations and definition of success? Because once you know yourself, what you're good at, what you're not so good at, you'll be able to add value in your unique way, quickly position yourself for maximum impact, and build an authentic personal brand inside any organization. Most people don't know the importance of knowing self because college, university, or graduate school doesn't teach you this. Formal education teaches you the theory and technical skills. They can't teach you how to be successful because each person and each organization is different. And utilizing your unique talents in those specific environments is what's going to make you stand out and outperform all your peers. Next, you need to understand others. What are the key relationships you need to invest in? What connections do you need to nurture? What are other people trying to achieve? And how can you add value in a way that gets you noticed? What's important to your manager or to your team? How do you need to adjust your communication style based on how one person communicates versus another? Again, university and graduate school don't prepare you for this. So you think you're going to be successful all on your own. But when you understand the people around you, you know how to work with them more effectively, it's much easier to gain allies, exert influence, be more strategic, and get your great work executed and recognized by your peers, your manager, and senior leaders. And finally, number 3, you need to understand your environment. Every company and culture is different. For example, some companies value individual achievement, while others emphasize teamwork and collaboration. Some value innovation and fresh thinking, while others reward following the system. Some companies prefer a more direct communication style, while others prefer a more indirect style. And no, values on the wall aren't what I'm talking about. Once you understand what gets rewarded, what behaviors leaders, managers, and peers expect and are looking for in senior roles, you'll be able to align yourself with the environment and be the obvious choice for promotions, leading projects, stretch opportunities, recognition, and increasing influence. And this 3-step, know yourself, know others, know your environment system is the key to you going from where you are now, feeling stuck, overlooked, and undervalued, to you being seen as a high potential performer, earning top ratings and high profile opportunities, and gaining the respect and sponsorship of key leaders. So you can finally feel fulfilled and in control of your career trajectory, gain the recognition, and be a rising star. All of these professionals I spoke of earlier were stuck where you are right now. They were intelligent, hardworking, did well in university or graduate school, but they had no idea about how the corporate game works. Now their careers are on a sharper, more positive trajectory, and they're just getting started. So now, if you want me to work with you so you can get results just like this and get the code to the fulfilling, successful career you've worked so hard for, then I've taken this exact 3-step process that's worked for hundreds of people across the world in every industry and put it into the first of its kind online program, where I'll work with you to understand and master this corporate game. Develop an action plan specific for your career so that you can get promoted, crush your performance ratings, and get that coveted sponsorship that you deserve without needing to lose yourself in office politics, sacrifice your authenticity, or leave your company to find better opportunities. It's called Intelligence Isn't Enough. And inside, over 6 months, I will be working with you to understand the new rules of the corporate world and create a specific plan for you tailored to your organization and your goals, to make sure that you're using the system to get promoted faster and gain influential sponsorship from leaders. Just like a ton of people that I've worked with who went from struggling to thriving at work, whether you're a newcomer navigating the competitive realms of tech, finance, or other high-performing competitive stakes industries, or you're several years into your career and still looking for that promotion that hasn't come yet, I am giving you everything that I had to figure out on my own and everything that I'm seeing play out in the various industries right now. You can think of this as a manual to carry you for the rest of your working life. One that you can use every single day to get ahead at work faster than you ever thought possible and give yourself an unfair advantage over everyone else. All those folks who are still relying on intelligence and hard work to get ahead. First, you'll get access to the Intelligence Isn't Enough course. Here's a sneak peek of what's inside. Module 1, A Whole New World. First off, we start with a reality check. It turns out success at work is less about the hard skills you learned in school and more about soft skills, like emotional intelligence and your ability to get along with your manager and your team. We'll explore why emotional smarts are so vital, with insights from experts like Daniel Goleman, who tells us this stuff makes up 80 to 90% of what sets successful folks apart. You'll also learn about the 70-20-10 rule, which means most of what you learn about your job you'll learn by actually doing your job or from others, not from formal training. Then we'll get into why it's critical to shift from a student mindset to a professional mindset that studies and masters workplace dynamics. We'll also discuss building effective relationships right from your first day, asking the right questions, and seizing growth opportunities through real experiences. You'll learn how to proactively manage your career development by spotting growth opportunities, forging strategic relationships, and gaining recognition for your achievements. Module 2, get your mind right. Now we turn inward. It's all about self-awareness and managing your mindset. You'll learn to see setbacks as growth opportunities and take full ownership of your career trajectory. We'll uncover why knowing yourself, your strengths, weaknesses, and the stories you tell yourself is key to your growth. And we'll tackle the fear of failure head on, so you can push past those fears and thrive. Once you've tackled Module 2, you'll be better at bouncing back from setbacks and see them as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. You'll also get a solid grip on who you are and where you want to go. And you'll be able to take ownership of your career in a way that lets you proactively seek out and grasp those opportunities that really matter. Then Module 3, why people matter. We will reveal the pivotal role that relationships play in your success in your career. You see, it's not just about doing your job well. It's about making real connections. And here's the thing, relationships can be more important than your Ivy League degree because they're what really push your career forward. Here we tackle how you can turn everyday coworkers into allies who have your back, invest in your development, and help you climb the ladder. We'll also talk about some of the hurdles, especially for Black professionals who might feel left out of the loop on unwritten office rules. It's crucial to not just work in your relationships when you're just going through the motions, but to work on them, building strong, lasting ties that are mutually beneficial. We're going to cover how to be strategic about fostering these connections. By the end of this module, you'll have a solid network of allies in the workplace and coworkers that will help propel your career forward. You'll also be ready to handle the challenges that come with building relationships, ensuring you can thrive in any corporate environment you set foot in. In Module 4, we dive into developing your cultural intelligence, or CQ. Think of CQ as a muscle that lets you flex your ability to connect with colleagues from any organization or culture. You'll start by looking inward, understanding your own cultural background and how it shapes your views and behaviors at work. We'll explore real-life stories like Connie Mashaba, showing how adapting to cultural differences is key in global business settings. Plus, you'll learn proven frameworks like Harriet Hofstadter's cultural dimensions so you can grasp different cultures deeply. By the way, none of this is just theory. These are proven frameworks, and we'll talk about practical steps to incorporate the frameworks. We'll also talk about keeping a journal to reflect on daily interactions, set specific goals to improve your cultural fit, and maybe even engage in cultural coffee chats to break down barriers. By the end of Module 4, you'll be better at working with people from all sorts of backgrounds. You'll know how to manage conflicts and build strong, mutually beneficial relationships. You'll also communicate better with your coworkers, making sure everyone feels heard and important. This is all about working well together, no matter where we're from. In Module 5, how to build your personal brand. It's all about being authentic, not about fitting into a box. It's the vibe you give off, the feelings and thoughts people associate based on every interaction they'll have with you. But we'll tackle some tough stuff too, especially for Black professionals and first-generation corporate employees that are dealing with the extra layers of cultural complexity. And really, our goal here will be to build a brand that's true to you, one that fits whether you're an introvert, an extrovert, or somewhere in between. Because a strong brand is lived out every day through your actions, your words, how you deliver, how you dress, and how you present yourself online. And by the end of this module, you'll show the world who you are through your personal brand. You'll be able to stand out for the right reasons, keeping it real, and consistent across everything you do, demonstrate, and deliver. Plus, you'll see how being authentic not only feels good, but also opens doors in your career, letting you move forward without having to pretend to be someone you're not. This mindset equips you to build long-lasting relationships and lifelong supporters, be recognized and respected, making it easier to hit those big career goals. In Module 6, we focus on communication because, as simple as it may sound, how you talk, listen, and respond at work really matters. We start by getting you ready for those tough conversations that can make or break your career moves. You'll learn how to speak clearly, listen well, and respond thoughtfully, making sure you really get where others are coming from and they understand you too. We also look at how your communication shapes what people think of you. It's about showing you're reliable and sharp without coming off the wrong way. We'll also cover how to make everyone feel safe to speak up. This means less holding back and more great ideas flowing. Lastly, we'll touch on working through bumps in the road with your teammates, managing how you come across, and dealing with tricky personal dynamics at work. By the end of this module, you'll be set to handle any conversation at work, no matter how tough. You'll be infinitely better at getting your points across crystal clear and making sure that you're heard, all while keeping things cool and understanding where others are coming from. You'll be known and sought after for your ability to navigate any courageous conversation. You'll make your workplace a spot where everyone feels comfortable sharing their ideas and working through conflict. These skills will help you work effectively across cultures, working styles, and personalities. In the final module, Organizing You for Impact, we're going to set the stage for long-term impact in your career by starting with your mindset about everything we've talked about over the course of the program. We'll work on getting your mind ready to keep learning and rolling with the punches, no matter what your job throws at you. We'll explore why sticking to your new insights and integrating them into your daily thinking matters so much. It's all about aligning what you've learned with how you actually think, work, and deliver every day. Then it's about dealing with change. Change isn't easy. It can be really uncomfortable, but we'll teach you how to deal with it as well as the new challenges head on. Next, we'll talk about making plans on purpose to set clear goals and keep all your efforts focused on hitting them. This keeps you sharp and moving ahead. And by the end of Module 7, you should have a solid grip on your mindset. You'll be thinking in a way that's all about learning and adapting no matter what comes your way. With a clear head and clear goals, you'll find it easier to sort out what's important at work and focus on it without getting distracted. Lastly, you'll be checking in on yourself, making sure you're sticking to your plan, and you'll be celebrating your wins, big and small. To keep you pumped and ready for more, this program has already changed a lot of lives, and I can't express the joy I feel when one of my students pulls off something impressive. Whether they're bagging a sponsorship from their senior managers, getting a salary raise, or scoring a promotion. Hearing about their journey to success is incredibly fulfilling. Just like this woman from a book club I hosted in South Africa, who after our sessions was promoted and successfully negotiated a higher salary. She even got nominated for a leadership program she had always dreamed of joining. Or this one struggling office employee who reached out to me on Instagram. Faced with a below average work rating, he had 90 days to turn it around or risk losing his job. After joining the club, he managed to improve his performance within those crucial 90 days and is still thriving at the company right now. And there's the young man whom I mentored, who after getting with the program and applying its principles, made sure his manager knew exactly what he was contributing. And his strategic approach led to a well-deserved promotion. Stories like these just prove that you can hit your goals, even shatter them with the right tools and by getting rid of your limiting beliefs. All right, so let's talk about what you're getting and how much it'll cost you. But first, let's see how much it'll cost you to not have this. Think about all the promotions you'll be passed over for because you didn't know how to position yourself strategically. Think of all the years you'll spend stuck in the same role or the same types of roles while people who know how to play the game get ahead. Think of the extra 10, 20, 30,000 in raises you can get when you understand this. Think about your dream career, earning what you want in your ideal role, or risk being stuck and not progressing because you don't know how to play the game. Not learning this stuff has probably cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars in my career, not to mention the years. But if I had a roadmap like this when I started, I could have avoided all these mistakes, all the wasted efforts trying to figure things out alone, all the times I felt passed over and undervalued, and started building influential relationships from day one. I'd know exactly how to showcase my value and unique strengths. I'd understand the unwritten rules of corporate culture and politics. I could navigate workplace dynamics with confidence from the very start. And I know the same thing will happen to you. So usually, a course like this with all of the insider information, unorthodox strategies, and proven tips we're packing in could easily be worth thousands of dollars. And these are people with less experience charging exactly that. But you won't have to pay thousands of dollars or anything close to that. Because right now I'm opening up an early access test group to my Inner Circle coaching program, my book club, and my mastermind group for just $1,500. For the equivalent of just $125 a month over the next year, you'll have me in your corner. And I'll give you the exact system to bypass all the frustrating mistakes and wasted time that I went through in the early to middle part of my career. No more feeling stuck or stagnant. I've designed this program to remove each and every roadblock that holds most people back. And without these career blockers, you'll get promoted faster, earn top performance ratings, and gain influential sponsorship. Even reach your 7-year career goals in half the time. Just like hundreds of students and people who I've worked with, but really, you're not just getting the course, because I want to make this the most impactful program on the planet. So if you join the early access test group before spots close, you'll also get access to some amazing bonuses you won't be able to get anywhere else. Bonus number 1, you get to join an exclusive online community where you can connect with other go-getters from corporate America, Africa, and Europe. Here you can ask questions, share wins, get feedback from me and the rest of the community. This is your support network that you can go to and connect with high performers who are on the same path as you, taking ownership of their mindsets, careers, and relationships. They say you are the 5 people you spend the most time with. And here, you're going to be with other top performers and high achievers to give you support, motivation, inspiration, and anything you need, so we're all lifting each other up. This group is priceless, and for 6 months, usually it would cost $600, but today you get access for free. Bonus number 2, live weekly Q&A sessions with yours truly. This is where I give you personalized advice on challenges you're facing in the trenches. Show up to the call with questions, whether it's about navigating office politics, dealing with a difficult manager, or preparing for a performance review. And I'll give you specific advice you can implement the next day to improve your situation, build stronger relationships, and advance your career. No fluff, just real insights from someone who's been there. For 6 months of access to these calls, it would usually also cost $600, but today you get access for free. Bonus number 3, I'm going to share unique case studies and interviews with corporate leaders who made it big. In these stories, you'll be able to see the exact scenarios they faced and use them as inspiration and motivation when you encounter similar challenges and need guidance on how to overcome them. These are usually $200, but instead it's free. And lastly, bonus number 4, you're getting a resource vault loaded with extra tools, templates, and reading material. These include things like email templates for asking for feedback or setting boundaries, scripts for having difficult conversations with your manager, recommended books for continued learning, and worksheets for goal setting and personal branding. Everything you need to keep grinding and leveling up even after the course wraps. So to recap, if you join today, you're getting the Intelligence Isn't Enough course, usually priced at $3,000, plus bonuses worth over $1,400. So all of this adds up to a total value of over $4,400. But right now, and only for this test group, you're going to get access to all of that for just a one-time payment of $1,500. And all of this comes with a guarantee where you can go through the program for 6 months, implement the steps and the training. And if you aren't happy with the progress you've made, I'll work with you until you are. Now, before you start comparing that to your monthly bills or a fancy dinner you're planning on splurging on, let's put it into perspective. Like I said, I charge $15,000 just for a 2-hour keynote, and you're getting 4 hours a month with me to ask me questions and have me personally mentoring you. So that's over $300K in speaking fees worth just there. But it's also about what it's going to cost you by not joining the program. Think about the cost of trial and error. Think about missing out on that next promotion because you didn't understand the office politics going on, or missing out on a $30K pay increase because you didn't know how to negotiate effectively, or being stuck in a dead-end job for the next 5 years, looking back, feeling like a victim. That stuff adds up. It can cost you way more than $1,500 over your career. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in opportunity cost when you don't understand how to play the game because you didn't understand what's going on in my program. But with this program, you're not just investing in a course, you're investing in yourself, in your future, in your ability to rise above the competition, just like Zanelle did. Prior to working with me, Zanelle wasn't clear about her passions and she didn't have the professional brand that she desired. After working with me, she became more clear about her value proposition and her passions, and she figured out which human resources disciplines aligned with these passions. She also became more intentional about how she showed up and more thoughtful about how she communicated. And instead of allowing her work to speak for itself, she learned to be much more vocal about the projects she was working on with her managers, stakeholders, and sponsors. And as a result, she got promoted, she was offered a role in banking, which is her preferred sector, and she purchased a home. She also says the coaching helped her be a more present mother as she was better able to navigate her home and professional lives. This story, along with the other examples, isn't just inspiring, they're proof that this course works. I really can't talk enough about the real value you're getting with the program. I'm giving you everything you need, everything I wish I had known when I first started, so you can shortcut all the learning, understand the dynamics in a few weeks, and quickly start making changes at work to get promoted, earn respect from senior leaders, and have a fulfilling career starting tomorrow, with all the support and community you need for any specific pitfalls along the way. So if that sounds good and you're ready to put in the work, connect with me and the community and transform your career and your life, starting potentially in just a few minutes from now. Below this video, you can click the button. You'll be taken to the checkout page. Enter your payment details and I'll send you instant access to the course, the community, and all the bonuses, which again is covered by that 30-day guarantee. Best case, you achieve your career goals and thrive in the workplace. Or worst case, you have me helping you until you do. So if this is for you, if you're willing to draw a line in the sand and take a bet on yourself and become a master of the corporate game, join Intelligence Isn't Enough below this video. My name is Carice Anderson. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you inside.